what we would really want, our desired outcome. So, for example, does it go in the direction I was planning? Not always. And when it doesn't go in that direction, what are the steps I can take to address that? So a plan is like being prepared in advance. So we're always proactive and we're not reactive, because where we become reactive is when we're sort of not necessarily in the most objective and probably most productive decision-making state. We're reacting. And it kind of reminds me of a situation where just recently where there was the market actually did like a really quick drop, and someone that I knew was new and just not thinking, oh my goodness, like what is going to actually happen here type of thing. So what they did was they did like an exit, like a market order. Well, that didn't really work out very well. It was kind of a not very good outcome. I think maybe they might have done better with another option. I'm just saying that's a reactive decision. If we have a proactive decision, that comes from having a plan. What happens if point A? What happens if point B? What happens if point C? And then it's about the execution, which is like following the rules. And sometimes I notice a lot of times when people are kind of saying, well, do I have to really follow them, or can I just do this, or can I just do that? No, actually, you don't want to. There's reasons for those rules.
Absolutely.
Those rules are typically helping you manage and optimize your success and kind of reducing the risk, right?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I always find interesting, I've been doing this a long time, is that people will follow the rules to the downside. But when you're making money, the markets are up.
Oh, right.
Quite easy to make money in this market, but everybody wants to eke out a little bit more profit. Well, what if it continues to go higher? Okay, that's great. So then let's hope for the best. Absolutely. But if we're sticking to our rules, then we probably have already set a sell target, right? And if you're not going to use a sell target, in the very least, you stop loss orders as you place trades on the way up. And for you beginning investors, a stop loss order is an order that will help protect profits in a position. So if it moves against you, if it comes down, your order gets executed. But I find more often than not, once things are going great, nobody wants to put that sell in because they think they're going to miss a little bit more upside. And for me, again, I know this is difficult, but incorporating the ability to sell a position into your discipline is key, right? Buying a stock is easy. It's the sell component that I've always found to be the most difficult for myself as well as for my clients.
Oh, that is so true. And I think it reminds me a little bit of the different ways that fear shows up in this process, fear of the loss, but also fear of, well, what am I missing out on? Mm-hmm. Am I missing out on another chunk, or what is that? Once again, fear has us be reactive more than proactive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll say this too, but one of the things that I talk to my clients about is, especially beginners, is market, sector, and then position. So as you're doing your research, you're always consistent in the way you approach it, so that the end result, whatever that may be, comes from this consistent basis, or your conclusions will tend to be more reasonable over time. And this helps to minimize those losses and maximize those gains. So if you got a position that ran up 25% and you think it's going to go to 30, but all of a sudden it turns on you, you're up 15%. Well, there's no need to stick around unless you've done some homework and found the valuation, the product cycle, whatever it may be, might have changed. And that's why I was asking earlier about adaptability. But I'll tell you, more often than not, you're better pulling the trigger and getting out with some profit than maybe perhaps what you expected, but sticking to that discipline nonetheless.
I totally agree. And this brings in another thought, when it's going up and we're thinking, well, should I hold on? Should I hold on? Should I hold on? Again, if we're following the rules, but sort of not letting our emotions run us, because fear is about emotion. We can close that out and we can actually have a new trade. And the new trade follows its own rules again. So we continue by continuing to follow the rules and follow those best practices. That's the consistent pattern of success. And I will say that success does involve consistency and learning from what has happened and then making those improvements. But that's very different from reacting to what is happening. Reacting is different because proactive decision making is I'm following my strategy. I'm taking specific steps. I'm not reacting because of an outside event. It's internally guided. Kind of reminds me, I mean, fear has so many ways of showing up, and sometimes we don't even realize